Hey everybody, this is Bill. Hey, I just thought I'd throw a quick video out. I was looking at my Eastwood bead roller that I bought, and I believe this is an 8-inch. I think it's an 8-inch bead roller. I actually saw something on YouTube and they have it for sale right now. I think it's on some kind of sale that they're doing with it. I bought this thing to use as a bead roller, but I also thought about, at the time I was making up my tubes, all of my pipes for my turbo, and I thought, you know what? This would be really cool. I looked at buying a dedicated bead roller for this, and what these do is this will make this bead roll. And what you need these so that when you put this on a coupling and put a clamp on it, that it doesn't slip off the clamp. And on all of your turbo piping, you're gonna have to have something like this in the end of it. And I saw on the internet where they talked about making these, and I made up a set of these. You can take a set of these pliers, and they're the crimping pliers that you buy with, like, the end comes out here and they have cutters on the end. I think I have another set of them, but you can take a cutoff wheel and you can just cut off the end of them. And then you end up with a set of pliers that you can actually make, you can hand form this bead roll. I was kind of looking around for them. I don't even know where they are. That's how organized I am. So if you take these and you take a pair of these crimping pliers and you look at real close at what's here, right above your crimp, where you leave this area, you want to just take a cutoff wheel and just cut this off. So you could cut the top of these off, and then what this does is this just allows you, I even marked them inside and outside so that I wouldn't forget. If you look at the way this will crimp, you can just slide this in and you can squeeze it, and it creates a little indent, and then you just move it and you do the same thing, and you can actually hand crimp these. And at the time, that's what I did on my piping that I have. I just went around, just walked all the way around it, just like this. It doesn't have to be straight, it doesn't have to be beautiful. These don't have to look wonderful. All you're trying to do is you're just trying to make some type of a raised lip. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but you're just trying to make a raised lip so that that tubing can't fall off the edge. Once you put that coupling over there and you put a clamp over the top of it, you're just trying to make it so that it can't come off of the tubing. And the nice part about the bead roller is it makes a really cool looking bead roll, and it goes all the way around, and it's a whole lot easier on your hands. So just to show you, I've got a piece of tubing and I'm just going to stick it in here, and now you have to figure out where you want to put the, how far you want to put it away. If you want to leave, I don't know how good you guys can see all this I got going here. You need to figure out how far in you want it, and that's where you need to position your tubing. So then all you do is, they give you 2 sets of dies with this, and this die here is this is just your basic bead roll die, and this is kind of just the die that I seem to use for everything. I did make a patch panel, and so I use this bead roll. So I don't, there's a lot of people that want all these different dies, tipping dies, a lot of different dies. you can move this die out and get it off of the edge of this bottom die, and you can actually use this for a tipping die if you want, where you put a piece of metal in there, you cinch down on it, kind of hold up on the metal as you're rolling it through, and it actually makes a tip. This, like I said, just going through here, and then all you got to do is just take this handle and just go slow. I mean, I know with a lot of the real wide bead rollers, you need a motor on them. You need, you know, it's really, really hard. If you're working with a big sheet of steel, it's real hard, or aluminum, it's real hard to roll a bead in it and be consistent, to follow a line without a table or without being able to actually hold that metal with both hands and be able to actively feed it through. But for something like this, for some of these smaller jobs, this thing is just awesome. One of my favorite tools, and like I said, I used it to roll the last couple of turbo pipes that I had, because the first ones that I just did them using the pliers. So all you do is just tighten down a little bit on your tubing and give it a roll. And then once you get back around, you just take it and you just tighten it back down, and you just do the same thing. So that's all you want to do, just to roll your bead. And since I'm doing this all on camera, I just realized that I'm looking at my bead, and can you guys, I don't know if anybody can see what's wrong with my bead, what's wrong with what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll loosen it up and I'll show you what's wrong with what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm making a bead on the inside because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I put my pipe in the wrong place. So I do a lot of this, by the way, if you guys don't know. So what you want to do is put your pipe up here on the top one. Not a big deal. You can always go back, just snug it down a little bit. You want to hold it straight. And then you just, as you're turning it, you just need to hold your pipe straight. You know, you just need to make sure that you're going to roll this in the same place time after time. So, because you don't want to do it all in one. You don't want to do it all in one roll. So you want to roll it, and then once you complete a revolution, then all you do is just tighten this down a little bit more and just do the same thing. The biggest part is trying to hold this thing straight while you're rolling it. And with a bead roller, that's exactly what's going on. So you just tighten it down a little bit more, and then you just keep rolling. You know, you just keep turning it and create yourself a nice little roll. And once you get it established a little bit, the machine's going to follow. You know, it's going to start following this, because when it comes down and it goes into this little canal here on the bottom roller, it's going to start following what you did. So you're not going to have to be so crazy about holding it straight. It's kind of just going to follow what you've done already. So like I said, you just take it slow, you know, take your time. And again, you know, I talk about all this stuff. I'm not a professional. A lot of stuff like this, doing this roll the wrong way first, I redo a lot of stuff. I have to recut. I have to redo things. I am by no means whatsoever a professional fabricator. But if I have to throw something away and redo it, so be it. I'll throw it away and I'll redo it. So there you go. And then you just loosen this thing up, lift this up, something like that. Lift this thing up, slide your pipe off. See that? So, I mean, that comes out really, really cool. And so if I can't leave this here, even after screwing it up, even after messing up and going the wrong way, you can tell how it was pushing the bead the wrong way because I had it set on the bottom die, whereas I had to have it up on the top. But it's been some time since I've done this, so in order to make this piece, I put it on the wrong one, started rolling it, and then figured out what the heck I was doing. So I can cut this off, you know, this is not a big deal. For the most part, when you have all of these little slip fittings, turbo slip fittings, it's not really a big deal. Like it's a fitting like this. Right here on this fitting, I have a bead roll right here underneath the edge. So these things are really squishy and soft. I understand some people are going to say, oh yeah, that's because you bought the real cheap ones. And it's true. I did. I bought it in a kit on Amazon. But there's another one right here. And I did the same thing. On the end of this pipe right here, just inside, I have a little bead rolled, just so that this won't slip off of the piping. This is your pressure side piping on your turbo. So same thing with up here at the top. Up here on the other end, right here, I have a bead rolled right here. And you just have to make sure that your fitting is going to slip far enough over for what you have. That piece that I just made, if it slips all the way into here, it doesn't really matter that the bead is back here. As long as the bead is inside of your clamp, you're going to be in a good place. So that's what I'm playing around with today doing. And so I just figured I'd show you guys this. This is the Eastwood. I believe it's called an 8-inch throat, which they measure it. Go over here in the back. They measure it by the depth that you can come into right here. This, if you have your plate in here, this is as far as I can bring a piece of plate in here. So if I want to try to make a design in the middle of a piece of plate, or I keep saying plate, I don't know why I'm saying plate, sheet maybe would be a better word to say. And if you wanted to make yourself, you know, a design in a sheet, then you can only make your design 8 inches in. That's it. So other than that, you have to, that's why you have you know, real wide, long bead rollers. Again, like I said, a lot of the tools that I use, I try to figure out what I need. Right now I have this in a vise, and what I did to this is, again, like a lot of the tools I talk about, what I did to this is I just took a couple pieces of angle and I just tacked them onto the base of this on both sides, put one on both sides, because this thing is heavy. But all I was trying to do is just make this so that I could take it and I can set it down in my vise and tighten it up in my vise, and just something to hold it straight, you know. That's all this really is. The pieces of angle just make it easier. I don't really need them. I could just take this and just chuck it up in the vise and just kind of make sure I'm holding it straight. This is just to kind of make it easy so that I can just set it down in the vise and that it's straight and that it's pretty much ready to go. I know a lot of guys on the internet, I've seen a lot of videos where they talk about handles, they weld handles on here. This nut right here, 7/16 inch wrench will fit right on it. So I usually just set a wrench on top of it and then I can just loosen it or tighten it or just kind of do what I need to do. So anyway, that's about all I got. Just playing around a little bit, trying to bead roll a little edge on a piece of aluminum, piece of turbo pipe. So thanks, you guys have a great day.